Oh, hello, I'm Michèle Lemieux and I'm a filmmaker. I work with a very rare technique which is called the pinscreen. And there is a special program this year at Animateka about the pinscreen. I've been working as a children's book illustrator and author, and then I jumped into animation, and I didn't go back yet to children's book because I think it's hard to combine the two. Animation is so time-consuming, and I have taught at the Art Academy for a long time, so I just had place for two things. As I started animation, movement came into my life, and that was quite special, and I like it a lot. On the other hand, there were times that I was missing the still and the kind of theatrality of illustration that doesn't move. So I still like both, but I've been doing more animation because it's so long to do. I did a first film at the National Film Board of Canada, which was drawn on paper, and which was actually based on a book that I had made, and that's how I came to animation, through that book called Stormy Night, which became then a film. And when I was finished doing this film, Jacques Drouin, who was working on the pinscreen all those years, almost 30 years long, at the NFB. He had just done what he decided to be his last film. And there was, they organized a session for a Passover for the instrument and invited filmmakers from a bit everywhere to take part to this workshop. And I went there and I presented the project and they chose it. I like the working process. From outside, you'd think it's tedious and why put yourself in trouble where it's so easy with the computer. But the fact that, first, I like stop motion. I like the fact that you live in the real time of what you're doing. You're not planning and do bits everywhere. You have to. You're concentrated in the sequences and the movement. I like that. I like the fact that it's a bit dangerous and it's something of a performance, but there's no public, you're alone, so if you fail, you're alone to know it. And also you don't work with normal tools with the pinscreen. You have to invent your tools, you cannot use everything. It's always a bit hard to explain, but you don't necessarily do what you want. You have to cope with the pinscreen itself, but it's so rich of ways that you would not have thought of that it's always surprising. And even when you fail doing what you wanted to do, actually what happens is most of the time much better than what you wanted to do. So I like this process where you don't control, actually you don't control, or you control a bit, but you don't control everything. And sometimes you control nothing, and you just have to act with the instrument. And this I find very healthy for creativity. It may sound strange to think that a Canadian would make a film about a Spanish queen from Habsburg family, but I have a long story with this painting, and I discovered it when I was 19, and it was like a moment where you discover things that will be important your whole life long, and for me it was the discovery of how painting can put some emotions, and so strong emotions that centuries later you see a portrait of someone and you feel really affected by it, and it's just paint on canvas. So I'm very attracted by the fact of materiality, and the pinscreen has also a very strong link with materiality. So she appeared on the pinscreen because I have this habit in my life to every once in a while to copy Mariana trying to understand the secret of this communication through the painting. So that's how she happened to appear on the pinscreen. And as I copied the portrait, it was, I also wanted to know, okay, how accurate can I be when I copy something on the pinscreen? Because as I said, you don't use the normal tools that are very flexible. You use bulbs and bits of things. It's very strange. Then it turned out to be the film that is called a tableau, the painting. So we're in the thoughts of this woman on this painting, and we just see a bit of what's happened in her head. It's not biographical, it's really seeing inside the head of someone and trying to put thoughts into images. This young queen, Mariana, she was raised to be a queen, and she was married with 14 with Philip IV of the Habsburg family from Spain. And they are put into this track, and they have to bear children, and their very intimate life becomes a matter of state. And even though it's very common and it's everywhere in history of royalty, I mean not only royalty, it's like everywhere and still today, it's always a tragedy in a way for a young person, I imagine. There's just one real biography, a very good one, focusing on her, but never before was there a real biography. Nobody has had interest in this person, but they never care about a woman's life. And so there she was to bear children, but nobody wants to know how and what, and, you know. So I was attracted by this mysterious and this secret that she probably and many other women carried all their life. Most of the time you see pinscreen films in black and white, and it has a reason. We work with shadow, and there is a way to have the best shadow, so the best range of grays. And so that's where you put the spot, and it's really long to put it at the right place to have a very good range of grays. But after doing a film with that, I wanted to try something else. And more than everything, there was no way to talk about Velázquez without color. There was no way he didn't draw. I had the portrait that I had copied on the pinscreen, so I did a lot of research to find out how to make color, and I realized that with using of the light, if I worked on the capture, on the length of the exposition, and that there was so much to achieve. It was amazing what was happening in front of my eye. I could change her face, I could make her in Mussolini or whatever. I mean, really, only working with light, and so I was very attracted by this research, and it did change the film actually totally. It's so rare that you have an instrument that so few people have used, so everyone that comes in comes with a full new vocabulary and tools, because we invent our tools or we find them, so we collect things that are different. I would like to thank the festival for inviting me. I'm really glad to be here. It's really a fun place to be and very stimulating. So I thank you all.